my name is Alphie Jimenez. I am actually a member of the Mandalorian mashups. What we do is we take the very famous Boba Fett, the world's greatest bounty hunter from the Star Wars universe, and mix it with other themes and go to conventions. We've been on WGN. The White Sox have had us on their show. And we're about to actually be in our third installment. I should have brought the DVDs. The third installment of the Force Among Us documentaries from Chris Mock. You guys know who that is? Chris Mock?
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yeah, we're doing the third one now. It's going to be the backstory of everyone that's been in the documentaries, like our actual lives. I work at a bank, so wear a suit. But yes, I do go to the conventions. Actually, today I did bring something. I brought one of our costumes that we're just giving a heads up of what we do. This is our Chicago Bears Boba Fett helmet. The costume name of this guy, I may have to change the name though. His name is Jay Fettler. So we may have to change it up. So we have a White Sox Fett named Carlton Fett. And we have a Blackhawk Fett named Hosa Fett. We also have Smurf Fett. Get it? She's blue, yellow hair, hat. We also have Green Hornet Fett. We have Batman Fett. We have a Captain America Fett. The Flag Fett. That's the most famous one that we have. We also have Raiders Fett. We have members all across the country now. We got about 50 members. If you go on Facebook, look up Mandalorian mashups. You'll see all the costumes and all the members that we have. We have Evil Fett. Evil Knievel Fett. You remember Evil Knievel? We are actually working on a Dukes of Hazzard Fett. Guys from the South, he's just wants to wear the Dukes of Hazzard. It's actually a girl. They're gonna do the Daisy Dukes. Well, hey, go ahead, man.
I won't complain.
So, actually, and my partner in crime wasn't gonna make it today. But we can carry on. But I actually want to talk about a disturbing trend going on in the world today. You know what it is? 80s remakes. You guys know about that? I don't want to talk about toys. Well, we'll do kind of. Obviously I'm very Star Wars laden. That's a big part of the 80s. But has everyone been noticing a disturbing trend in remakes?
Oh, yeah. It's all over. I mean, and they're already talking Goonies. They're talking... I can't even remember. I mean, I just saw Poltergeist this summer, which was terrible. 80s, they just need to leave those movies alone.
Because it seems like the Hollywood executives are trying to tap those cult classics that are now cult classics and recapture that magic, which I just don't think is possible.
No, you can't recapture magic from practical effects in a movie to CG.
Well, not only that, but just storytelling. And then when you throw in CGs of remakes that movies didn't really have any, it's just not good. The ones that I've heard that are really disturbing, there's actually two. Actually, there's three. I don't know about the third one. The first one is Fletch.
Really?
Yeah. Don't do it.
With who?
I don't know, but don't remake Fletch.
With one of the Chris's, Chris Pine, Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
Chris
don't.
Hemsworth.
You can't.
Will Smith.
You
somebody.
can't. You can't. I'm with, saying lines like, I'm with the mattress police. That ain't gonna work.
No, all those 80s movies, like, they had lines in there that you can't say today. Like, you just can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't remake The Jerk. You can't remake Used Cars. You can't
Porky's. You can't remake Porky's.
You can't remake Airplane. You can't do that.
Yeah, with that one line about the coffee, you can't say that now.
You cannot.
And the other one that's really disturbing, just don't do it, is Weird Science.
Really?
Yeah. It's in the talks. I don't know if it's official, but don't do it. Don't remake Weird Science.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they already tried that with the TV show, and that's as far as...
It's not going to work, but
as far as it needs to go.
So what remakes have they come out with that are really bad? There's Footloose was bad. Dirty Dancing, or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad. Fright Night was really bad.
Oh, with
Colin Firth.
Yeah.
The original one from the 80s was just so awesome. And it was funny, but they're just... Oh, yeah.
It's not even that. It's just even going back in 80s horror films that they're remaking. I mean, every one of them has been bad. From A Nightmare on Elm Street to Friday the 13th.
The Halloweens.
Right. I've already forgotten it, but I agree.
because my friends and I, my counterpart Sean Hines, he's not here with us today. We often have this. Right, exactly. Oh, you know what? Total Recall, but it's not 80s, it's 90s, 1990. It's close enough, but Total Recall was really bad.
That one
again with Colin Firth. Didn't even go to Mars. Yeah, there was no Quaid.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
there was no Quaid. Start the reactor. None of that was in there. But I agree with this. You probably agree with me. This when it comes to sci-fi, teenage movies, horror, 75 to about 89. It was like the hallmark for those types of movies. And speaking of 80s teen movies, and I know this breaks your heart, the death of Amanda Peterson, Cindy Mancini from Can't Buy Me Love. Oh, what happened? How did she fall from grace? Come on.
I agree with you.
When she died, you're like, oh my God, really? My first movie crush is now dead. Then she was a year older than me in real life, and I'm like, oh, what happened? So everyone that was a teenager at the time was like, man, I wish I could have been there for her, or what happened? Who knows? But it looked like it was the fall was high.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, but when it comes to the 80s movies, these remakes are just getting ridiculous. And I think what else are they trying to do cartoons? Remember, did you watch Speed Racer?
Of course.
That was terrible.
The movie was terrible, yeah.
Yeah, it was... Yeah,
but they're remaking the cartoon now. The cartoon's coming back. And
right. Well, one movie that they are going to remake from a cartoon I hope is good, and it did, it just made the Transformers Child's Play, is Robotech.
Yeah. I'm excited for Robotech. Who's directing that? That's
I have no idea. But I know they're remaking it, and please make it good. Please make it good. Please make it good. Because that was my first foray into anime. Was the Robotech series, and it was violent. I mean, people died. It wasn't like Transformers where, it just got stupid. Old mechs didn't have beards. So I'm really looking forward to that. I just hope that they don't mess it up, because that's one thing you can't really mess up. Please, don't mess that one up.
I'm still waiting for my live-action Voltron.
Yes, that would be very cool. Actually, I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier today who has the original die-cast Lion Voltron.
Oh, really?
Yes. Working.
See, I was just telling my wife today that I need to find one.
He's got the car one and the Lion one.
Oh, wow.
So he's good there. So, all right, who in this room? Anyone collect toys? Anybody? Toy collectors? What genre do you collect? What are you? Toys or comics? Both? Okay, cool. Anyone else? Wonder Woman figurines? Anything? Okay.
I love the Funko Pop. It's cheap. It does its job. It hits 80 genres. You can get the Goonies and Funko Pop.
Did anyone have a Roddy Piper or whatever?
A Funko? No.
Yeah, because as icons from the 80s start to pass away, their toy lines are starting to become more valuable. But I gotta say that Arnold Schwarzenegger, you gotta give it up, man. Terminator was not good. It was terrible. And he's better as a bad guy. Who agrees Arnold's better as a bad guy in Terminator? It's just the whole good guy thing. It worked in 2 because the story was very good. But the last 2, the Salvation and the Terminator 3, just...
I think the last movie was not good, but I think Arnold was the best part of the movie.
Right, because Sarah Connor looked like she was 14. I'm like... I mean, they didn't even have Pugsley, the iguana, her roommate's iguana. Come on. And Rick Rossovich was, someone like that. Slider from Top Gun. Yeah. You like Genesis? Yeah.
Sega Genesis.
Dreamcast.
Shinobi. Awesome.
Dreamcast. No, but outside of the first 2, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's it just goes back to they keep rehashing everything from the 80s. I mean, we're gonna get a new Alien. We're gonna get it.
I heard about the new Alien. I don't know. Is it a remake or is it a sequel?
No, it's a sequel after Aliens.
Yeah, but I heard Reese is reincarnated or is still alive somehow. How? Are they gonna bring back Newt? Remember Newt? Newt. My name is Newt. Yeah.
Newt made it, but Newt died.
If they do that, then they better bring back Hudson.
In 3. Yeah. So then if you forget 3, because that's what they're trying to do, then Newt's alive again, and
Right.
it makes no sense.
Oh, it's going to be 3 replacing the other 3 with the prisoners?
It's one. Yeah, this one is going to come after part 2.
Because they buried Newt and Reese in the third one, which was... yeah. Well, then they better bring back Hudson. Somehow he survived. You know, Hudson, that guy that was played by Bill Paxton. He needs to survive somehow, too. You know? Game over, right. You know? But because, like, Aliens is another prime example from a movie from the mid-'80s. Very, very good. Excellent. But what was good about it was the storytelling. You know, they go to the exoplanet LB 420, I think it was. And, you know, it's 420, something like that. And it's a reactor to turn atmosphere into Earth. Yeah, turn into a... yeah, and then the aliens show up and mess everything up. Right. Yeah, if someone can look it up, because LB 420, what the name of the planet was, that's going to bother me now. Prometheus, though, I thought had promise, though. I mean, it kind of ended
It
weird,
had promise, but it fell short.
It fell a little bit short, but I thought the premise was very good, especially with the whole ancient alien theory thing going on right now the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big into that, by the way. Ufologists, anyone into that ancient alien theory? Anybody into ancient alien theory? Like the show Ancient Aliens, History Channel? Everyone's like, this show shouldn't be on history. I'm like, you know what? It should be. You know why? Because it's rewriting it. You know, I do agree with the fact that I think there was advanced civilization well before we think there was. I think that's fact. I'll leave it at that. LB 426. I'll leave it at that because I know there's a lot of implications and I don't want to offend anybody. But, right. But I think the truth is going to happen very, very soon. It's going to change everything we've ever known. And change everything in general, for that matter, except for maybe the weather, which is also changing, by the way. What happened to our... No. But when you see those civilizations they're finding underwater, like 60 to 100 feet, okay, that means that they were there well before we know. So anyway, but Prometheus, they are making another one, right? There's
they
a
are
sequel
making
to
a
that?
sequel, yeah.
Now, that's pre-Alien, right?
Right.
Okay. Because I thought the first one was pretty good until that one guy fought that squid. Remember the...
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on here?
That's how
Right.
you get them to merge, because
Right.
that's how... And I understand.
Oh, so the aliens that we saw are sort of like a morphic hybrid? Right. The xenomorph. Okay. Right.
It's all evolving. That's what... yeah. Because once the DNA changes, that's what we end up seeing.
Right. Yeah, because I thought it was pretty good. I like how they went to that planet and it was raining glass. You know, because that's what they're finding on these exoplanets. The type of precipitation is not what we know it. You know, we know rain and hail and snow, but raining, what was it, like silicon, yeah, something like that, which is plausible because silicon's very common, I think, on other planets besides our own. So we'll see. Obviously, there's a big thing coming in December. Everyone knows what's coming in December, right?
No.
Star Wars. No. No. All right.
Did you buy the 18-foot Millennium Falcon yet?
No, I did not. I'm working on a life-size at the moment.
That would be better. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to stomp on people who crash down the bike path down here in Elgin and see what happens. You know, I don't think most of you were not here the last time I was here, but I did go to the Star Wars convention in Anaheim in April. And from what I saw and from what I'm hearing, this movie will not be cute. It will not be cute. Thank God. It's going to be pretty. There's going to be some pretty crazy things that are going to happen from what I'm hearing, especially from the friends from the Rebel Force Radio. It's going to put Star Wars back on track, in my opinion. I hope. Because the prequels were terrible. Who doesn't disagree with me? Or who? Yeah, no more. I don't think there's going to be any lens flare, thank God. Because, yeah, that was kind of a distraction in those Star Trek movies with J.J. Abrams. You know what movie that I really like from him? Have you guys ever seen Cloverfield?
Yep.
Oh, that's a great movie. You know why? Because you know something really bad's going to happen, and you have to watch to see what happens. And I love that movie, you know. No option. People are going to die, and bad things are happening. You know, and the story's very good. It's very simple, but it's still very good. But anyone who has any trilogy stuff, toy-wise, you might want to hang on to it, or if you see it, buy it now. Because I think what's going to happen when they have the revelations of Episode 7, you guys know what some of the revelations are? well, that girl is Luke and that's Han and Leia's daughter. Okay. Luke Skywalker's gonna fight Kylo Ren, the guy with the lightsaber.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren. I don't know if he survives or not, but they're not going to show him. I think there's supposed to be another trailer coming out in September, supposedly, but they're not going to show Luke Skywalker in it. They didn't want to show him at all in any of the trailers. You know, when he reaches on R2-D2, that's all you're going to see. But you notice his sleeve was white, because I guess supposedly when they find him, he's dark. You know, because he gets somehow after Jedi, something bad happens to him and he gets exiled somehow.
Yes, some of the rumors I heard were that his powers as a Jedi got too strong, and fear built up in him, and that's why he exiled himself.
Right, and somehow Leia brings him back to a Jediism, the good side, and then he explains to Han and Leia's daughter that she has a big part in this whole thing that's coming along, and that one stormtrooper guy, he somehow breaks away from the First Order. Yeah.
Well, he starts out.
He starts off as a stormtrooper.
Rumor again, we really don't know, but he starts off as a stormtrooper, and he actually has the Force.
Right.
And
not at this
stage. Because remember, they've with how many were on the 2 Death Stars. I mean, they've destroyed them all. So now they're recruiting. Now the First Order. That's why it's not the Empire. They're changing, and all these people are all different. And actually, rumor also is that Daniel Craig is in one of the stormtrooper costumes, which I think is pretty awesome. But he'll never take his helmet off. And
then say Ken Lung, that Asian actor, is in that movie now. I didn't realize he was in it. He's on a TV show though. I forgot.
Yeah, Dr. Ken. He's got a new show.
So that makes the third. No, that actually makes it the. I guess he'd be the second then, because they have Donnie Yun's going to be in episode 8.
Oh yeah.
But the first one is the first Asian character is the guy from Return of the Jedi, the A-wing pilot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's too many of them. Then I guess Nai Num counts, kinda. Lando's co-pilot.
Does it count?
To me he does, because he sounds like I'm Filipino. I can say it. He's Asian. So.
Well, I can't. So.
No, you can't. You can't say anything anymore. It's PC. Yeah, they can count too, I think. Yeah.
Sure. Nuke Gunray.
She can't do that. Yeah. Speaking of those guys, you know what? Of the prequels, actually, I don't mind Episode 1 as much as other people do. I mean, I think they used a lot more real sets. The story was pretty good. Episode 2 drives me bananas.
Well, I think the thing is, Episode 1 everybody thought was so slow because there was a lot of politicking and stuff, and then the only real thing outside of the lightsaber battle at the end was the pod race, and nobody really cared for that. And I think that's where it torpedoed it. And then they overcompensated in the second one with just so much aircraft fighting and CG, and it was just
the CG in episode 2.
Everything was just blasters here, blasters there, and the story fell apart.
And the CG was so CG that nothing looked real.
I know
it was real,
awful,
especially with the clones and everything. And it got to the point where you don't want to see people fighting robots anymore. Droids, battle droids. That's not fun.
No.
So at least we have another Sith Lord in this new one, which it'll be exciting.
Well, exactly. I mean, because him fighting Obi-Wan fighting. I'm drawing a blank on General Grievous. That wasn't a great battle.
No,
that was really poor.
But at least General Grievous looked decent, though. He didn't look bad.
He did, but again, you go back to that. You're fighting a CG character, and it just loses.
It gets
something.
boring. It's boring. But did you guys see that footage on YouTube when they were at the San Diego Comic-Con? The production and there's other scenes in there.
Yeah.
This movie looks very Star Wars-esque. A lot of latex masks.
Oh yeah, all practical.
A lot of real sets. So I think that's what I'm saying, because I think what they got away from was the real feel of the trilogy. Even though they went to different planets, they still were like different real sets.
Right.
When on episode 3, I don't think there was one real set in that entire movie. I mean, there literally wasn't. I mean, except for maybe at the very end when they were in the Buckhead Runner, that was a real set. And then when Obi-Wan handed off Luke and Leia to Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, but they filmed that during episode 2. But this one here has got a ton of real sets. They built the Millennium Falcon. They got those new X-Wing fighter pilots. I don't know what the classification number for those are. And then it looks very Star Wars-esque, which is be a big plus, because
Well, what I always say when I review movies like that, and you look at the prequel trilogies to the original trilogy to what we're getting now, is a lot of times a movie, when it gets too CG heavy, loses its soul.
Right. And that's what it did. The prequels didn't have that emotional content.
Right. And I think what we're seeing, just from the glimpses of what we see, from what we know JJ's doing, what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, it seems that they're going back. They know what they screwed up on,
right?
And they're fixing it.
Right.
The bad part is that they took Anakin to make Darth Vader like a likable, semi-likable character.
No, they shouldn't have done that.
No, they really didn't.
Well, because they got bad actors.
The best part of it was the Darth Maul fight.
Right.
The first 3 series, because it had heart. I mean, that was...
Right.
That was a great fight.
Well, there was a turning point, but like in the trilogy, there's a turning point. That moment for me, it's when Luke threatens Leia and his friends, and then Luke Skywalker goes, freaks out on him, and in front of the Emperor. That scene, I was maybe 11 at the time. That's that moment where that whole story basically comes to fruition. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader realizes that he may not be able to beat Luke, but then he's like, I'm going to go after your sister and your friends. No! And he freaks out, and then he beats Darth Vader. That's that moment. Hopefully we have that in the new, prequel, or the new 7, 8, and 9.
I think we will, because they're tying it more to family. I mean, you've already talked about Kylo Ren. There's rumors of who he's going to be. It's going to be tied in together. It's all going to be part of the Solo Skywalker name, I think, a lot of this. And I think that's why. Because, we've all grown up with these movies, and even my kids right here have seen them all. And we're invested in that family and we get those emotions, because you said it right there. Why was that emotional? Because the Emperor was going to go after his family, and it's characters we care about.
Right.
We didn't care about a lot of the characters in the first one.
I don't think we cared about
the Emperor was like, I'm going after Jar Jar, we'll be like,
I don't
Yay!
think we cared about any of the characters in the prequels.
No. I'm going to go after Padme. Okay, let her give birth first and then kill her.
Right.
It's like we don't care.
Right. Yeah, that was no fun. No fun. But
What do you think about J.J. Abrams veering from the established universe that, like, Timothy Zahn and all those guys created, because Lucas wasn't going to go there?
I think he knows what he knows what people want, and I think he knows how to tell a story, and I think it was the perfect choice. Because looking at his other movies, I know everyone's like, he did Star Trek. Star Treks were actually pretty good. Yeah. They were no Wrath of Khan, but they were good.
Well, they try to be.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan to me. I mean, we got a few minutes here, but we can talk about it. What are the best sequels ever made? Aliens, Terminator,
Empire.
Godfather, Back to the Future.
No, Back to the Future 2 is not better than the first
Right.
Back to the Future.
No, but just good sequels in general. Road Warrior. Yeah, Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Right. But for me, the best sequel, in my opinion, is Superman 2. Because it was filmed along with the first one at the same time.
Well, half of it was.
But with General Zod and Nan and Ursula was like so hot, Did you see that?
I can see why you like this
I have power
sequel.
beyond reason. We all have them idea, But there was 3 of them, and Superman gave up his powers for Lois Lane, and he finds out that Zod's on the planet, and he goes, "Oh crap!" I mean, there was a really good story, really well made, except when they're blowing down, Fifth Avenue, and you see the cardboard. No, but it was
all paper and
still
garbage.
a very good movie because again they have all these new Supermans and Batmans, and there's about another 4th or 5th Spider-Man generation coming out. What are they doing? Because I don't know about you guys, but Christopher Reeve is Superman. I mean, even though the Superman that we know is still actually a remake from the 50s or the 60s, the original Superman movies, or
The 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the serial
but Superman
and then
2
George Reeve
though.
in the 50s.
But Superman 2 though, to me, for a sequel is just, it's just unbelievably. That's like the best one ever. Empire, outside of Empire we're not counting. We're counting other movies. But
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight was
If you
pretty
look
good.
at Nolan's trilogy,
Yeah, those are very good. But we'll see. I don't know the
Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock.
Is that with?
Both.
Yeah,
Is Is that what Alfred Molina?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, honestly, the only reason why I wanted to go see it because that was the guy who asked for the idol, throw me the whip.
Indiana Jones.
Guys, we got about. Oh, we're up. Okay.
That's all right.
All right. Well, until next time, look us up on Facebook, Mandalorian Mashups. Our next event will be Star Wars Day at Comiskey. It's Comiskey, right? Not U.S. Cellular. It's Comiskey.
Well, people might drive across the street to the boneyard then.
U.S. Cellular Field, September 13th. Look for the Star Wars, and then it will also be at the Soldier Field for the Bears home opener.
Very nice.
What do you think, Jay Feller? I have to give it up. Did Butkus Fett, maybe, or Doug Buffon Fett, or Peyton Fett? I don't know. We are also making a Green Bay Packer one called Brett Fett.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but it works. It works.
It does.
It does work.
Okay. It's a Packer.